Regina, a warm welcome to you on Filme Shilmy, and congratulations on Rocket Boys. It looks like an absolute dynamite of a series. So, tell me about your emotions and your experience of being a part of such an important story.
When I first learned that I'm playing Mrinalini Sarabhai, the first thought was, oh my God, I need to get my Bharatanatyam right. I mean, playing a classical dance is one thing, and I learned Bharatanatyam for 4 years as a kid. So I understood the body language, and I knew that I enjoyed it. I enjoy dancing. And but the thing was to now look like Mrinalini Sarabhai and make the world believe that that this is Mrinalini Sarabhai, which was the task. So when we went to shoot and we did there was this time when in Jaipur we were shooting from 9 p.m. 7 p.m. actually. We shot a small scene from 7 to 9:30, and then I got into the entire costume, which is pretty time consuming, and it's pretty tedious to do. Get into it, and then from 9:30, 9:45 in the night till about 7 a.m. the next morning, I was dancing at the amphitheater in Jaipur, and it was an experience that I've never had such an experience. So all of that, putting all of that together, and finally coming out with this whole character, and finally seeing the trailer, and finally seeing the response to the trailer. I mean, I think we've done something right somewhere,
Definitely. And then obviously I know Mrinalini Ji had passed away in 2016. So obviously for you to get the nuances right and to make sure you portray her on screen, I guess you must have had to rely on a lot of online material or a lot of the archives that's available to you, right?
Yeah. Fortunately for Vikram Sarabhai, Homi Bhabha, there was a lot of material for them to go to.
Yes.
But when it came to Mrinalini Sarabhai's case, I first relied on my writers, and my director Abhay, to give me what I needed, and then slowly, one after the other, through people. And what I like to do is, especially for characters like this, like you'd mentioned, Mrinalini Sarabhai has been part of our present. It's not like she's someone that none of us have heard about or know. No, like we don't know much about her, but she has been there. If you ask people in the community, in the dance community, with regard to arts, in fact, even in politics, people actually know about her. So what I liked doing was to ask people that I know, and right. I know people who've been in that field about her, to know what they thought about her.
Right.
To get first-hand information from people, because it was easier that way. But I also had documentaries, and there was a book as well that she had written.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and stuff like that were things that I went to. That was my Bible, to see her, Mrinalini Swaminathan, to grow up as Mrinalini, and what all she went through and everything. So yeah, so those were things that I did. I still remember every time before my dance performances, we would shoot the entire day, and before every shot, I would visualize her in my head, because I wanted to visualize the grace and the beauty and the little mischievous, the little twinkle in her eye. I would before every shot, before every action, I would do it, and it was a routine that I would do, because I needed that. I needed that to imbibe that somehow in me,
Yes, yes. I think what's also very fascinating is because obviously Mrinalini Ji was also South Indian. So I guess you must have also had that connect with her. Like that personal connect must have also been there, I'm sure. Because it's like I'm a Gujarati, for example. So me hearing Vikram Sarabhai, it's quite a moment of pride, for us. So I'm sure you must have also felt the same when you heard yeah.
Definitely. I don't know if that is why they wanted a South Indian to play the role.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's a good thing. No, but that's actually a really good thing, because, it's so true that at least they're choosing actors who come from the diaspora that they're focusing on, and I think that's great, because at least it makes it more authentic, if you get what I mean. in that
If
way.
that, no, it definitely does, and I feel like that's what OTT does, right? It also gives you now the bandwidth and the opportunities for people from different from the south or from wherever to come and be a part of it, because now it's just like this big
Yeah,
thing that's opened up for everybody. So yeah, I'm very, very, very thankful and grateful to Nikkhil Advani and everyone at Emmay, and even Siddharth Roy Kapur,
definitely.
for actually like looking into this, and every character, every actor that has been chosen to play all of these amazing characters have been like, I think everyone fit the bill, everybody fit the bill.
Yeah.
So it's just beautiful to see this now come being painted on this canvas.
Absolutely. Now, I think Regina, I think it's wonderful. I'm loving the work that you're doing. I mean, you've already you've already done some great work in the South, and that too from a very, very young age. You've literally technically grown up within this industry as well. So I think तब से लेकर आज तक वो जो एक growth हुई है आपकी, how would you describe that growth as an actor and as an artist, Regina?
um Honestly, like I think there's been a lot that has happened over the last many years, but I'm really grateful to the industry for having opened up my eyes to a lot of things. Um I think I'm way more mature, thanks to the industry, thanks to the things that I've seen and dealt with and experienced, and you know, the different, like even when it comes to Hollywood or Tollywood or Bollywood or whatever it is, to see people work in different places. It's You see a difference, and you learn, you imbibe a few things. You also share knowledge on a few things that people could probably do better. So it's like a back and forth of exchanging of things. You meet so many people, like so
Mm,
many energies are exchanged. So as a person, it has made me, I've become so much more calmer. I know what it is like to be made to wait. I know what it is like to make someone wait. Like these small, intricacies, like these small things make a huge difference in your life. It changes your character. I feel like I've bloomed as a person over the years, and I'm really grateful to cinema for that.
that's absolutely true. Beauty is, we're seeing actors as actors now, Regina. Like before, there was that whole notion of like transition and, wo sab kuch. Lekin I think now it's become on one platform, एक ही platform पे सब कुछ है. So I think it's wonderful to see that. I mean, how satisfying and how meaningful is it for you as an actor to be an actor at this stage and to sort of have the growth that you have at this stage where there are no distinctions as there used to be before?
Anuj, for me, the path has been very different. I've been acting for a really, really long time, but there's been this big stigma. Even today, when Rocket Boys is released, the trailer released, a lot of people, um, their first thing was, oh my god, this finally, this has been something that has stuck. It's a stigma. I think, I don't know, I just hope that it comes away pretty soon. But there's this thing of where people are like, especially down south, since they know all of my work down south, so a lot of the journalists down south, a lot of the people in the industry down south keep saying, oh my god, finally she's getting what she needs to get. That has, since you don't follow too much of my work, but that this is something that I don't think you would know about, but since forever, since from when I can remember. So this became a career for me only in 2011. Like, I started
Mm.
acting as a career since 2011. Before that, it was just this little kid who was doing what she wanted to do. But when it did happen as a career, then there's things like, oh, how lucky is she, or how this or how that, what is her market value, what is she, all of these things, which big hero is she acting with, all of these things come into play, which is what work is about, right, at the end of the day. So everyone always felt like I was not getting what I needed to get. And to be put in that place where people feel like, oh my God, why isn't she getting what she needs to get? But then there's nothing that's happening about it. Um, when something like Rocket Boys releases on SonyLIV, when some people see a trailer like this, people are like, oh my God, this is what she needs. This is what she needs. And it's so nice to see the audience actually following my growth, actually rooting for me. I'm very content with where I am today. Like, I've always been the kind of person that's been content with whatever's happening, with good, bad, ugly, we'll just figure and we'll move forward. But to see people actually rooting for you and actually saying, you know what, listen, she deserves better. Oh my God, this is what she needs. I'm just blessed.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know what it is, but I feel like, and that's why I'm very careful as well when I ask questions to actors who are very prominent in non-Hindi cinema, because I feel like they've already achieved a sense of iconic status within their language, the language of audience that they appeal to, and that's why I never sort of measure Hindi cinema or Bollywood as a way. I mean, it's great that everyone's working together, and it's obviously an achievement of sorts, but it's not like the pinnacle, that everyone aspires to sort of work in, if you get what I mean. And I feel like there is this
Yeah.
notion. Have you also, I mean, just wanted to elaborate on what you said there. I mean, do you feel that there is that sort of notion when people talk to you, especially about your achievements and what you have done so far?
Anuj, that's a great question, because it also has to do with how I've evolved. Um, I don't think I'm too attached to my sense of self now. So, and it's the experiences that has brought me to this place today, because like you rightly said, I've done about, I haven't counted the number of films I've done, but I mean,
Loads.
okay, let's just say 20 films. It's definitely more than that, but let's take that into consideration. So having done 20 films in the South, and then to come and do something for the first time in Hindi when I did Ek Ladki, it was a very different experience. It was a very humbling experience. Not that it was bad, but it was very humbling. And I am very grateful for that experience, because if it wasn't for all these experiences, I wouldn't be sitting here today, and I wouldn't feel, forget sitting and what I'm talking to you about. Like, I could say
Yeah.
A and I could feel B, but I'm telling you, like, I'm like, this is who I am today. And I like that. In a way, I like putting myself in those kind of waters to see how I am going to react, more than anything else. To see how I will make a situation better. I want to make the situation better always. That's the kind of person I am. So to actually have that, and then to come here and have this, why not? Why do I have to be so attached to this sense of that stardom, or used to certain sort of behavior? And when I don't get it, I'm not going to be like, oh shit, this is who I am, or na 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 na. This is probably who they are, so that's all I can expect from that.
Yeah.
So in fact, it's very funny, actually, to add to this. A lot of people, when I meet them, like through other common friends, when I meet people, and they're like, Regina, she's an actress, and she's like, the first thing people say if they don't know you, like, oh, I'm so sorry, I don't watch movies. I'm like, why are you apologizing? It's not like you have to know me,
Yeah.
or anyone for that matter.
Yeah.
Don't apologize. Then you make me feel bad, because now I'm just like, why?
He's like, you're trying to justify yourself and trying to explain. Yeah, it just gets a bit
Yeah,
awkward, right? Yeah.
which is not, which is which is, I'm not even saying it in a bad way, because people don't know how to do it. That immediate reaction is like, I should know you. You should be someone famous. I'm so sorry, I don't know you.
Yeah.
But it's not a bad thing. But I'm just saying that doesn't matter.
It
It
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter. The moment I am done with shoot and I go back home, I'm not an actress. You know,
Sure.
um,
Sure.
I love my surfing. I love my animals. I love my food. I love my friends, and I love games, and all of those things take precedence.
Yeah. And I think because, the OTT platforms, I think what they are offering is such a liberating experience, and I think a lot of
Yes.
actors are getting that ability to perhaps play characters which they haven't done on the big screen as well. And I believe what Rocket Boys is your first foray onto the digital space, right? So
Yes.
in that sense, what are your not expectations, but what do you hope to achieve in terms of the roles you are offered, especially on the OTT platforms? What would you like to achieve from your stint on the OTT?
Uh, First, I the first thing, like with OT, like okay, with Rocket Boys first, since you said Rocket Boys, with Rocket Boys, the thing is, I really want the people from the community to be happy about the fact that from the dance community to be happy about the fact that I played uh, Mrinalini Sarabhai's role perfectly or the right way. People who've seen her and been around her. That's my number one priority because it's also the first time I'm playing, someone who has lived and who's a real life person. So that's there. And then when it comes to OTT, um, I mean, I don't know. There's really, I just want to do good work. I want to do good work. I would like to do relevant work.
Yeah.
Um, uh, yeah, I mean, and that's about it. It's always been that. It's always been
Mm.
to do a good job and to tell the right stories and to be relevant. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that is the beauty about Rocket Boys as well, because even though, of course, it is about Dr. Sarabhai and Dr. Baba, I do feel um, that there's a very interesting synergy that we might be seeing in the series, because obviously Dr. Sarabhai is he's a science, he's a science exponent. He's someone who has really, really um, you know. Uh, he's an iconic. He's really set the precedent for science in India, and then we of course have Mrinalini Ji, who obviously is Indian classical exponent. So we have two very very huge uh, legends coming together. So I think that's what I'm really curious to see is how that synergy works out. I mean, what did you discover about them actually throughout your journey, and especially about this sort of difference of legendary statuses that both these figures had?
First of all, I thought the relationship was beautiful because it was very real. It was not just your normal, like lovey-dovey, this thing, or just a normal power couple. They had their ups and downs, and they had, which you will also see through the show. Um, so that chemistry, in fact, I think what brought them together was the fact that both of them were so focused on a better India,
True.
you know, and many people were at that time because this is pre-independence, and um, you know um, to see that focus and to see that will and that willingness and that want, that earnestness to actually bet to put India on the map, whether it was in terms of arts or science, and there was an amalgamation of both. um, uh, Mrinalini Sarabhai, through her dance and her art and everything, she brought out, she brought about an awareness, social awareness amongst people about things that went down, not just in India, but also she took it internationally. She took her performances internationally to show people that this is what we are. But we're so culturally rich, and Vikram Sarabhai for the same way. But how both of them handled their marriage, their life, their family, all of that was so beautiful because these are people in the public eye, and you see the same thing happening today. But today you're just like, oh, why did they do that, or why did this happen, or why did so and so get a divorce? Oh my gosh, so soon. So like to see two people who are in the public eye to handle their lives so beautifully and to leave a legacy where people still talk about them today. And I had gone to Darpana,
Hmm. Hmm.
and I I felt like this presence. I don't and I'm not someone who tears up very easily. I'm not someone who um, I pay attention to my emotions, but I'm not someone who sits and becomes melancholic or like that. But when I went there and I was dancing, I was rehearsing for one of my performances over there.
Hmm.
I was just like, just so happy to be there. Like I felt so, it was like there was this, like, this is not a closure, but this is this warm blanket around me, sort of a feel saying that, you know what,
Hmm.
you're in the right place. Um, and
Beautiful.
yeah, and it's not very easy to leave a legacy behind. I mean, we all say it, like we all want to do it, and we all want to be like, you know, like, yeah, I mean, we contributed to this and we contributed, but it's not easy. It's really, really not easy. It takes a lot of your integrity, a lot of your power, a lot of your truth, your wisdom, your you know, your pain, everything together, and to to have done it so beautifully, I think that's what I take from them.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's interesting, Regina, you shared this with me because I feel I remember watching a few interviews actually during Padmavat time, and I think Deepika also had mentioned that when she was shooting for or playing Padmavati, she also felt this presence with her. And I don't know what it is, but I think it is, you know, when you are playing someone so legendary, it's almost like you have that responsibility on your shoulders that you want to do it so well
Yes.
that you feel like almost like it's like a divine intervention, I think, coming into play, almost that reassurance ke nahi, aap jo bhi kar rahe ho, sahi kar rahe ho, right? Is that the sort of feeling you felt that
Yeah.
main jo bhi kar rahi hu, sahi kar rahi hu?
Yes, exactly. I mean, like that it felt, and that's what I'm saying, it felt like she was there, you know, like
Hmm.
there. And that's why I said, like, before every shot I would actually, like, this would be like a little vision of her in my head, like, you know, like this is one picture of hers that I absolutely love, and it's in Darpana as well, you know, of
Yeah.
her from her younger days dancing. She looks so pretty. It's on the internet as well. So that was the one picture that would come up to my face. And yeah, so I agree with Deepika, you know, like I have felt it.
That's amazing. That is so beautiful. But I think as well, you know, post Rocket Boys, you've got such a great lineup of movies as well coming up. So I think it's quite you know, right to say that you definitely seem to be quite hooked, booked, and busy in terms of work and in terms of the craft, right?
Yes. Well, thank God.
Yeah, no,
um
definitely. Trust me.
I mean, I'm thankful. I'm grateful. I'm loving the work, and I always pray that, you know, like, uh, give me the energy to just go through it all, go through it with all, go through with it all. Sorry, but yeah. So that's what I always pray for, because I mean, I was just on the road all of last year. You know, it has been crazy, and that too, I would be traveling from Bombay to maybe Alibag, and then Pune, and then Kashmir, and then Hyderabad, and then Kutralam, and then, you know, like these random places. And
Mm.
I'm just so happy that it has been so good. You know, I thought, like, by the time I finish my first OTT, yeah, probably there'll be something in the pipeline that would come. But I'm already doing three in Hindi, and then two in Tamil and Telugu. So I mean, for a lot of people, the pandemic did become a setback. But I feel like that setback for everyone was really, really needed, because it was like, it's like a, you know, like a plunge. Like, you just pull, and you just like back, and then the moment you like let go, it's like
Mm.
out there, you know, like the further back you go, like, I think all of us needed that little bit of stay, peace, calm, and then go. So it was beautiful. So I'm really grateful for whatever is happening. I couldn't have asked for anything better. I never will. So I just, yeah, I mean, that's that.
No, absolutely. Well, look, I think it's wonderful to see that, Regina, and I think you know, it's just so great to see Rocket Boys with such a fabulous cast, including obviously yourself. As I said before, you've done some great work, and I think, you know, I'm keeping fingers crossed that Rocket Boys will also be another feather to your hat, and I cannot
Thank you.
wait to see some more exceptional performances by you.
Thank you so much, Anuj.
Thank you. Oh, Regina. It's been actually, you know what? I'm gonna be very honest. I'm so glad that SonyLIV made this happen because I wanted to interview you actually when Ek Ladki Ko Dekha came out because I was so fascinated by your performance, you know, like it was such a humanized and beautiful representation of a homosexual. And I loved that, you know. I'm really, really glad that, thanks to SonyLIV, we could make this happen.
Thank you, Anuj. I mean, I'd like to add like 2 minutes to that if it's not getting too late.
Will you please?
When you say it, when you say it like this, um, it makes my heart so warm. You know why? Because when Shelley called me, it was just so random. Shelley called me one day, and the director, she called me one day, and she just said,
Mm.
listen, I've seen your auditions for another film, and I would like you to do this film that I'm directing. Um, and it has Sonam Kapoor and all of that in it. It's a very small role. I don't know if you'd be okay with doing it. I've seen that your work in the South and all of that. Um, my first instance was okay. I think it's interesting. She came down, narrated it to me. I thought I could see that she was very eager to get me on board. And I had conversations with many people about it because it was going to happen. It happened to be my first Hindi film.
Yes.
So everyone's like, no, no, Bollywood entry, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए, अरे ये वो. So I was like, shit, okay. So everyone's saying no, but I absolutely loved the story, and I loved the fact that, in the sense, what she was bringing out, what she was trying to put out there. And I consider myself an ally of the LGBTQIA community. So
Mm.
when this came to me, I was just like, I really want to do it in my heart, but everyone's like against it. 90% of the people were like, no, 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 don't do it. And then I went up and did it. And
I'm proud of
after
you.
it
Really proud
released,
you did.
thank you. And after it released, and not even once did I think, oh, what would it strike a chord with the LGBTQIA community? It didn't cross my head at all. The only thing that crossed my head was, should this be my Bollywood release or not? But the moment I saw the film that day when we had a preview, um, and the response that I got from everyone, from the community, I was just like, what the hell? This is probably this is probably why I should have done it in the first place. And then when I saw it, oh my, till today I get letters, I get books written by girls and people saying thank you for playing Kuhu. You gave us a lot of strength. And I was like, what? Really? I mean, I'm so grateful to you all for accepting that. I did what I had to do as an actor, but I didn't think it would go a step further. And now I understand my responsibility even better as an actor, as a public figure. Because it's these things that make you understand certain things. And and I'm not even exaggerating when I say till today, I still get like mail and messages and everything from people saying that they absolutely loved Kuhu. And it's like that 10-minute role, wow, like now I understand things
It
even
just
better, like I said.
it just goes to show it's never about the quantity of the role, it's about the quality. That's a pure
I
example.
agree.
Pure
I
example of that.
agree.
But
Yes,
look, and I
yes.
think it's great. You've been a part of some wonderful, strong women narratives like Thalaivi, for example, which I really, really loved as well. I thought that was a lovely film. And Eklarti Ki
Yes,
Beta,
it
and
is.
so many other titles which you've done as well, even in the South. So honestly, but Regina, look, it's been an absolute, absolute joy to speak with you. And I'm really glad it's been 4 years or 3, 4 years since I've been waiting for this. I'm glad that it's finally happened for Lost
Yes.
Boys. And I'm sure it's going to take off for sure.
Thank you so much, Anuj. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Regina. Take care. I'm wishing you all the very best.
Bye.
Bye bye.